Hello everybody. Today we are going to discuss simple past tense in this video. Where is simple past tense used and what are the sentence structures for simple past tense sentences? First, let us see how to change present form of the verbs into the past form or into the past tense. We have two kinds of verbs, regular verbs and irregular verbs. Regular verbs, it's very simple to change into the past tense. We can do so simply by adding ed or d. The verbs or the words which have e at the end can be changed into past tense by simply adding d, and the verbs which do not have e at the end can be changed by adding ed. For example, tense. In tense we have e at the end, so simply add d to get the past tense. In play we do not have e, so add ed to change it into the past tense. But when it comes to irregular verbs, it's very difficult to understand because there is no specific rule to change irregular verbs into the past forms. It's just by rote learning and by observing and by practice you can understand what are the past forms of irregular verbs. The sentence structure for positive sentences in simple past tense for the sentences which use regular or irregular verbs is quite easy. We just change the regular verb and the irregular verb into the past form or the V2 form. But there is another way of changing it or another kind of sentences in which we use to be form of the verbs. The to be form of the verbs or state of being are the verbs which just express the status, the condition, they just describe the condition. The verbs are is, was, are, were and been. In these sentences we just use those verbs and there are no other action verbs. For example, I was in my classroom yesterday. So in this sentence, if you see, there is no action verb, just the verb in the to be form, which is was. If you see the second sentence, again there is no main verb, only the to be form of the verb, which is were, because it is they, the past tense form, and in the first sentence singular I, therefore the singular to be form, which is was. Before we move ahead, please press the bell icon, subscribe and like, and please keep motivating us. Let us see the sentence structure for negative sentences for simple past tense. For the sentences in which we have action verbs or main verbs, we use did not. For example, look at the first sentence. She did not like the party yesterday. Like is the main verb, which is an action verb. So we simply put did not before that. The same way by. By again is the main verb and an action verb. So we put did not. But the sentences which have to be form of verbs, we use were for plural and was for singular, and because they are negative forms we use not with them. If, for example, the first sentence, they were not absent in the class, there is no main verb or action verb in this. The to be form of the verb is were, so we just add with were not. The same way in the second, the to be form is was and we add not with that to make it negative. The sentence structure for interrogative sentences can be of three kinds or three types. The first type, when there is a main verb, we start the interrogative sentence with did. So did plus the subject, which is you in this first sentence, and then the main verb, which is in the present form. This is, if you remember, a simple past tense sentence, but the main verb is in V1 form or the present tense form. Why it is so? It is so because if you remember the subject verb agreement rule. According to that, if did is there in a sentence, the sentence will have the main verb in the first form or the present form. So therefore, did you dance as a child? Did he bring his textbook in the last class? The next way of making an interrogative sentence in simple past is with to be form of the verbs. So when there is to be form of the verb, the to be form of the verb begins the sentence. Was the movie good? So here first we begin the sentence with the to be form. Was the movie good? Were you late to the first class? Were we too loud? But there is also a third way of making an interrogative sentence, which is by using WH sentences or the question WH words or the question words. So we begin the sentences with WH words, then we add did, then the subject, and then the action verb or the main verb. If you see again, here the main verb is in the present form. Now you have guessed it right because did is used in this sentence. So for these kind of sentences, we have two verbs again, did as the auxiliary verb and the main verb. But we have the WH question words beginning the sentence. Let us see where simple past tense is used. Simple past tense is used with actions that happened several times, many times in the past. We went to spend the summer vacation with grandparents. Maybe not for one summer vacation, for many summer vacations. So what you need to remember is an action that began in the past summer vacations and also completed in the past summer vacation. It has nothing to do with the present or the future. It is also used with sentences where ago is used. For example, I did my post graduation a long time ago. Then the third, for past actions. Past actions, that actions that began in the past and completed in the past only. It has nothing to do with the present. So these kind of actions are also denoted or also written in simple past tense. The last use of simple past tense is when we talk about actions which were for some time in the past, which were true for some time in the past. I woke up at 5 in the morning every day to prepare for my exams. Maybe for 10 days it was true, maybe for a month it was true, maybe for an year it was true. It was repeated, but it was true only for some time in the past. So we use simple tenses, simple past tenses in all these places. Thank you so much for watching. Wait for my next video on simple future tense. Bye.